So one of the mistakes that I see business owners make in QuickBooks all the time as well, and when I make reels about this or stories about it, this is where I get probably the most pushback is keeping receipts. So people will message me and say, oh, my bank statement's fine or my credit card statement's fine. I don't need to keep receipts. That is not correct, because if you're audited, they can ask you to provide receipts. So let's think about an example. Let's say that you put that Walmart was for job supplies. You have some kind of business where you're going to Walmart often for job supplies, and you're always putting job supplies for Walmart. That could be food for your family. It could be toiletries. It could be camping gear. It could be anything. The IRS is a likely, unknown if they will, because every audit is different, going to want to see those receipts. So as a personal example, I was audited for the 2013 tax year. I had a multi-million dollar business that had been audited. And because it was such a large business, they only made us provide receipts for anything that was over $100. So we didn't have to provide small receipts, but that's still, you can think about, this business was doing like between $6 and $8 million per year. You can think about how many receipts we had to provide. So if you're really good about keeping everything in a shoebox, great. I'm not. I would say scan that receipt, load it up to QuickBooks, scan it, keep it on Dropbox, and attach it. So let's look at how to make that attachment. And again, these receipts, and I say this often if you follow me, if you have a bookkeeper, they're never going to want to see your receipts, or CPA is not going to want to see your receipts. You're probably never going to look at your receipts ever again. But if you get audited, there's a very good chance that you would have to defend yourself in the event of an audit by using receipts. So why not just make it easy, give yourself that peace of mind by keeping them when the transaction happens. So here's where you do that. So in your actual transaction, so this is a match that it found, let's say you were categorizing something, and I'll show you how to do it as well in the match. Right here, it just says add an attachment. So if this was for Amazon, if this was for a restaurant that you were taking clients to dinner for, you would just hit add attachment, load that receipt up, and hit add. QuickBooks is going to save it for you against this transaction for as long as you're using QuickBooks. So this is just a huge mistake that owners make, to just think, oh, I can just categorize anything the way that I want it. Yes, you can. But if you get audited, you have to defend yourself, and make it easy to defend yourself. Make sure that you have all your ducks in a row where you can say, here's every single receipt that I have for every transaction. It is very easy to do at the time to load those receipts. It's very hard to go back multiple years, a year ago, and go find all of those receipts. So that's a mistake I see business owners make. So go ahead here and add these attachments. If you are doing a match where it's putting it against some kind of invoice, you can go ahead and hit match, and then go into that transaction, and you can add data to it. So you can add, if this was an invoice that was sent, you can add in that statement of work by hitting attach in there. You can actually provide data. And I guess speaking of audits, and again, this was my own personal experience. Every audit is different. I'm not saying that this is what would happen to you, but in my audit, for every customer that was invoiced, so we sent out an invoice out of QuickBooks, they made us show a quote, a statement of work. And these were big contracts. So again, that might not happen to you, but if you have something other than just an invoice that you send your client, something that they sign, attach it into QuickBooks here. It'll make your life easier later.